can be a difficult dilemma explaining where you stand as an American. The rampant betrayal has driven many away from a Congress with what is better described as a high disapproval rating. So, when President Trump echoed the core beliefs of a majority of Americans,
as President of the United States, I will always put America first. Just like you, as the leaders of your countries, will always and should always put your countries first.
Well, you say nationalism. I actually call it nationism. Okay. We believe in the nation state. That is the unit we identify with. That is what we feel part of. That is what we cheer for in the Olympics. And if necessary, that is what we're prepared to fight for. It embodies our values, our families, our communities, our heritage, our identity.
A globalist is a person that wants the globe to do well, frankly, not caring about our country so much. And you know what? We can't have that. You know, they have a word. It sort of became old-fashioned. It's called a nationalist. And I say, really, we're not supposed to use that word. You know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay?
It's obvious that nationalism seemed a simple explanation for where most Americans stand against the creeping tide of globalism, protection of our values, security, and future against the efforts of international bankers and world government. However, the conniving mainstream media saw yet another opportunity to smear the president and anyone that agrees with him.
Shocking. It is. We have a president who calls himself a nationalist. Nationalist, a loaded word for a lot of people. But the president dismissed any concern about it and, sitting at his desk in the Oval Office, defended the new label he is using for himself.
I love our country, and our country has taken second fiddle.
There is a concern that you are sending coded language or a dog whistle to some Americans out there that what you really mean is that you're a white nationalist.
I've never even heard that. I cannot imagine that. You mean I say I'm a nationalist? No, I never heard that theory about being a nationalist.
So now the Trump campaign has disavowed William Johnson and the white nationalist party that he runs. But that has not stopped William Johnson from remaining a big-time fan of Donald Trump.
President Trump has a ton of support from white nationalists, and that's a very different thing. Merriam-Webster's definition defines a white nationalist as one of a group of militant whites who espouse white supremacy and advocate enforced racial segregation.
Even in Los Angeles, where white nationalist William Johnson was elated with President Trump's press conference.
I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either.
He is the most honest president since George Washington and the cherry tree.
On the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also saying that the president.
That's such a racist
There
question.
are some people that say that now the Republican Party is seen as supporting white nationalists because of your rhetoric. What do you make of that?
I don't believe it. I don't know. Why do I have my highest poll numbers ever with African Americans? Why do I have among the highest poll numbers? Honestly, I mean, I know you have it written down and you're going to tell me. Let me tell you, it's a racist question.
They're assaulting reality. We pay taxes. It's our nation. We have a system. We're proud of it. We project our power globally. They go, no, no, no. You can't have a country. We got to come in and take this over right now. Well, who's taking it over? The IMF, the World Bank, the UN Human Rights Commission run by Saudi Arabia and China? It's like having Hitler run your local synagogue.
And as populism becomes increasingly under attack, it came as no surprise that French President Macron, mouthpiece of the globalists, chose to sour the commemoration of the Armistice Day centennial observance in Paris with propaganda. Macron stated, "Patriotism is the exact opposite of nationalism. Nationalism is a betrayal of patriotism. In saying, our interests first, whatever happens to the others, you erase the most precious thing a nation can have, that which makes it live, that which causes it to be great, and that which is most important, its moral values." But Macron didn't even bother to look up nationalism. Nationalism is described as a patriotic feeling. An extreme form of this is especially marked by a feeling of superiority over other countries. Nationalism advocates political independence for a particular country. So, nationalism on its face is simply the opposite of globalism, not the opposite of patriotism. There is no betrayal by American citizens here, but the desperation infused in the propaganda of the globalists knows no limits, twisting the meaning of words and reality on an international stage. And this is a very dangerous thing indeed. John Bound reporting.